everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Fourtress, of a podcast about movies, TV shows, video games, and lots of pop culture and nerd things. My name is Oscar. I'll be one of your hosts today, and with me, per usual, are two of your other hosts. They're back. We got Brian, also known as the Beard, and New Reliable, and the Dragon Ball Z, or the Spider-Man villain, Mr. Negative, on a Dragon Ball Z redemption arc, and Devin, also known as the Brains and Mr. Nowhere.
Yo, yo.
How you guys doing?
Doing good, man.
Doing okay. Waited 12,000 years to get some food, and then the dude was like, "I'm sorry, man. They were being real slow." And I was like, "It's all good, man. I appreciate you."
At least you got you. What are you eating? What are you munching on?
It's gonna be Chipotle at some point.
At some point.
Mm-hmm. Delicious. Yeah, feel free to snack. We'll just cut it. Or not. And listeners will just hear you munching on Chipotle.
Just pure ASMR. I got chips too, so you know it's gonna be fucking loud.
Oh no. Oh, that's funny. Yes, listeners, it is the three of us today. Alex is venturing out into the world, doing a lot of traveling right now. So I think he's currently driving in the middle of the night somewhere.
Oof.
But we'll see
fun.
him at some point soon. But as usual, listeners, you can check the time codes for all of the spoilers and or just sections if you want to skip or avoid or anything like that. Jump to it. They're all down there in the show notes. But with that, guys, should we just hop, because we got a big show, should we hop to our first segment of the week?
Let's
do it.
Do it.
News talk.
First piece of news. This came out fairly quickly after we recorded last week. It kind of just came out. Finally, after what seems like decades in the making of them trying to put this together and put a cast together, we finally have the Fantastic Four and a new release date.
He's done it again, baby. My man is getting every single job in the goddamn world.
Pay him everything. Get in that bag, man. Yes. I think we talked about this in the past, and now here we are, obviously talking about it again. Pedro Pascal is going to be Reed Richards, also known as Mr. Fantastic, also known as the worst dad in Marvel, I would say probably. But we also got the other three. Vanessa Kirby is going to be Sue Storm, which most people would probably recognize her from choosing one of the Mission Impossible movies, the good ones. I think Fallout. She's in that, and then she is in the most recent one. Actually, another thing about it as well, and she's in that really bad Hobbs and Shaw movie that Devin loves.
Really bad. Really bad. You take that back.
We can't get into it.
I think she's in isn't she Josephine and Napoleon as well?
She is.
I have not seen that, but that sounds correct. Yes.
I haven't seen it either, but I think I saw her in the trailer. But yeah, she's getting some work.
She's getting work. She's making it big now. As at least past couple years. We'll talk about these people in a second, but let's just get through them. I'm not gonna say this name correctly. Ebon Moss Bachrach. I don't know if any of that is correct. He's going to be Ben Grimm / The Thing. You'll see him. He's in The Bear. I'm pretty sure the show The Bear.
He's in Andor.
He was in Andor most recently. Yeah. He's done a lot of bit parts as of late.
He was in Girls with Adam Driver.
Whoa, was he really?
Yeah.
Oh no shit, I didn't know that. And then Joseph Quinn, who most people will know him as Eddie from Stranger Things season 4, who had the dope ass guitar solo that everyone loved. He's gonna be Johnny Storm. I like the casting, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're all, from the people that I've seen at least, it seems like pretty strong casting. Pedro Pascal is almost kind of the weird one out here, because I definitely feel like he's just getting every job ever because he can do that.
Like, they're all stars in their own way, like especially like rising stars, but he definitely towers over them, I think.
Yeah, I definitely feel like he's gonna get the Tony Stark treatment, it feels like, in this movie for sure.
Maybe, I mean, that might be the point. Maybe they're looking for a new Tony Stark, because I think, for one thing, I think their next Tony Stark was most likely going to be Chadwick Boseman, T'Challa, and unfortunately that didn't go the course of what could have happened. And then I think Doctor Strange was their second lean on. I think they were like, can we make this happen? And didn't. It's kind of working. But people love. He's in everything.
He's in everything. And I mean, he's great. And I love that he's getting his flowers, but fuck, dude. Let someone else have a try.
Yeah.
I'll only say they didn't choose a generic white guy for that role, at least.
Fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Everyone else is white in this cast, so they diversified in the smallest way.
Right, the easiest way they could have.
He's just so handsome and rugged, though. I just don't buy him as like a nerd. But
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, but he is a great actor as well. So and Marvel usually does a pretty good job with casting. So
I think they just saw the Gray Temples from The Last of Us, and they're like, done.
Yep, exactly. That is 100% what happened. No. If we can make Mark Wahlberg a scientist, we can make this.
No.
Listen, I just don't want him anywhere near a child. I've seen it before. We don't need to see Pedro Pascal escorting any more children. No more children.
He's gonna be a bad dad. He's gonna be a bad dad.
Adults only.
Yeah, I'm excited for this to finally get underway. I like their little promo picture that they came out with on Valentine's Day. It's very 60s vibe, and people are assuming that maybe some of, if not all, this movie will take place in the 60s. Who knows? That'll be kind of cool. Maybe they do a whole, they get sucked in a wormhole and now they're in modern day now. I don't know.
And then aren't they going to maybe use it to connect the X-Men? Or
yeah, probably. That or with Doctor Doom lead into Secret Wars, which Deadpool would potentially also lead into Secret Wars. So there's a lot of possibilities that they could be doing with that, you know?
Absolutely.
That'd be crazy.
But yeah, I did see some stuff that people weren't crazy about Joseph Quinn as the Human Torch. I kind of like it. I think I'm okay with it.
I'm gonna say it's whatever. I don't know. Our other ones that we had before this, what was it? Michael B. Jordan and Chris Evans.
I think they were just like, those two guys are like weirdly way too handsome, and people are like, this guy just looks like I think he's a handsome dude. I don't know what's wrong with him. Yeah. But people were like, no, he's not Human Torch handsome. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
That's pretty weird. Yeah, I don't know. He's a pretty conventionally attractive man from what I know. Yeah. He's weird without his long hair.
He's going to be on fire half the time. He's fine.
Who fucking cares? Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. He's a good actor. He did really well in Stranger Things. So
yeah, I think he's very charismatic, and I think that's the main quality Human Torch has to be, is just be cocky and charismatic, and I think he can do that. Yeah,
for sure.
They should have just done Chris Evans. That would have been so
just do it again.
That would have been really fucking funny.
He has to show up somewhere.
I would have loved that if they just did that. But you know, obviously they were not going to do that.
That would be so good. Oh man, that'd be funny. Yeah. So coming out in 2025. Yay.
Yeah.
Next piece of news. This one's apparently Avatar: The Last Airbender is getting a multiplayer fighting game.
I'll never understand, because like this is obviously an anime, but it's anime adjacent. And something about anime games, they can just not fucking make good ones. Dragon Ball Z is like the only one that's ever made any decent games.
This has got two negatives towards it. One, this is reported by Gematsu. One being, like you just said, the anime genre of games just never worked out. Two, no one has ever made a good Avatar: The Last Airbender game ever. There's been like 12 of them, and they're all garbage. They just came out with one that apparently is garbage.
And it's so interesting because I feel like you can make something like it's a good story with a lot of action and a lot of fighting. Like, just tell the story again.
Yeah.
That's why Dragon Ball Z is so good at it. They just make the same game over and over again, and people love it. Just tell the story again and make a fucking, I don't know, third-person action adventure game. It should be silly easy on paper.
Yeah.
Somehow. No one wants the Naruto fucking fighting game. Like, it's gonna be bad. It's not gonna be fun to play. It's gonna feel like shit. Nope. How many characters do you even have to fucking put
That's
in
what
the
I was gonna say.
Also, I feel like bending is such a cool thing. Like, as a concept, I wish it could feel so good in a game if it was done right.
If it was done right.
Absolutely.
It could feel like Jedi Force powers or something. We were just talking about Jedi Academy off air. It could be something like that. They're not going to do that because that would be too fun. But
yeah.
Don't get your hopes up.
It better be every bit of $40 because if it's a full price game,
no chance. No chance.
No shot.
Yeah. All right, moving on. This is a continuation from what we talked about last week with the whole Xbox and their potentially putting their exclusive multi-platform. Well, they did. They confirmed that 4 games are going multi-platform. They didn't say which games, but there was some rumors, according to The Verge, that 2 of them would be Hi-Fi Rush and, what is it? Pentiment. It's a weird title. Pentiment. 2 games that I hear nothing but great things about. So that's kind of exciting.
I'm happy for the studios to be able to get that kind of stuff because I think that Hi-Fi Rush, honestly, from a financial standpoint, probably ended up lower than it should have been because it was such a great game, but it was kind of, they paid for Game Pass quick first. Amazing game. Hi-Fi Rush is an amazing game. So I'm happy to see more people be able to play it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, me too. I'm excited to hopefully get my hands on it.
It's also an interesting thing to look at Xbox and what they're doing right now is they are definitely not trying to compete in the console wars anymore, it seems like. And part of it's a little scary.
I think they're trying to win in the Game Pass war.
Exactly. And I mean, that's really interesting. They're doing something very interesting by making like a Netflix adjacent service for sure. But it's almost feeling a little Sega-ish. I know they have another console that they're working on after this, but I wonder if eventually Xbox will get out of the console game completely and go full software. Similar to the way that Sega did. Sega did it because of financial issues, of course, that they stopped making systems and consoles. But yeah, Xbox is in an interesting place. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, it seems like the way they're buying up studios, it seems like that all the sides are kind of seeing maybe the future of the industry is like controlling that rather than controlling the like the means that you play the game is not going to be as important as like the games that you play. Yeah. And then once you get a hit, you can kind of control how the money works. You know, so like I don't know what their deal they're going to cut with like Sony or Nintendo or if they'll be able to do it, but I bet
if they can, yeah,
I bet it'll be pretty lucrative for them. So if you're the first one to get it, then you can kind of dictate to the others, okay, we'll let you have it on your console, but we get 30% or whatever. Like, work it out some way,
right?
I mean, a big thing with Sony specifically is like their big thing. That's the draw in to sell their consoles. Their big first party games that they put out. Whereas Nintendo, they have a lot of big first party things as well, but their innovation is what makes them different. So they carve their own space. So you have two places that carve their own space. Xbox has neither of those things. Xbox is very similar in the way that it runs to a PlayStation, and they also have no fucking exclusives. So in that space, it's like, what do you do to carve your own space to make money? Because right now, I'm sure they're probably third out of the three consoles when it comes to financials as far as making money right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right. And it does seem like the future is definitely going to be more like it doesn't matter what you're logging in from, but we're all playing the same game.
Oh, yeah. It's a consumer win for sure. 100%.
Yeah. And I hope to see more of it from all sides.
I mean, Phil Spencer did say Starfield and Indiana Jones, the new game coming out, they're still Xbox exclusives, but he didn't rule out.
Listen to me. Put Starfield on that goddamn PlayStation. Y'all did not make enough money from Starfield. Put that shit on PlayStation. You're fucking yourselves with that. That should not be an Xbox exclusive. That was a mistake.
I feel like that's easy money.
Honestly, it makes no sense because I just don't think I don't think the kind of buyer exists anymore. That's like I'm only going to buy an Xbox to play it, because Starfield's on it. That buyer does not exist
anymore. Starfield was not a console seller. It was not a console seller. No. There's no way it would have been. Baldur's Gate could have been a console seller if they didn't put it on everything. This was not that.
And I don't think Indiana Jones is either.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah. So I don't know what they're gonna do. Yeah. It'll be interesting to watch the next couple of years, though. It'll be real interesting.
Ideas. Obviously, I really like Game Pass, so that's really strong to me. So I think as long as they keep running with that, I'm gonna keep paying my little $10 a month, call it a day. And I mean, Sony's doing the same thing, where they're putting a lot of their games on PC as well, their first party games. So it seems like as a whole, as an industry, they are kind of moving, like Devin said, towards more multi-platform than not. That's a win.
And I think it's also easier when it comes to consoles are basically becoming PCs anyways. That I think that transition, I mean, even though for some reason every game that comes out on PC is just flooded with bugs.
I was about to say,
what the fuck is happening?
That transition is not as easy as we think it is, because these games get ported really shittily, and it's really sad.
I don't know what is going on there, but that's a different topic.
I still haven't played Last of Us, the remake, on PC.
I still don't know if you can. I don't even know if it works.
All right.
All right. Moving on. Speaking of low sales, let's switch it to Sony. This is according to Bloomberg. Apparently, the sales of this PlayStation were not very good this past holiday season, and now it might be entering in the latter stage of its life. There's a quote by Senior Vice President at Sony.
Dang.
What? I hope that means like 5 more years at least. What does that mean?
Well, that would be Half-Life, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Like, okay, wait.
If we get a PS6 in 2 years, I'm gonna hurt myself. No, I'm gonna blow something up. I'm so angry at this. I'm so mad.
It was one of the weirdest console generations for sure, and I know COVID was a big reason for that.
COVID fucked everything up.
Yeah, but it's like, I guess maybe COVID did more than even I expected when it came to like, there's just still not that many games on PlayStation. There's enough to maybe keep you busy for 6 months, and then after that, what do you fucking do? Like, you think about like the catalog of PlayStation 2, even PlayStation 3. The catalog of PlayStation 5 is not impressive at all, and that's one of the reasons that I haven't bought one yet, because I just don't see a reason of spending the money.
Yeah.
And I mean, Xbox is that's nothing. No one wants an Xbox. So it's like the console generation.
I mean, and I think both Sony and Xbox in the same way. It feels like it should weird saying that for any of those consoles, because neither one of them. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with the games that came out: Spider-Man, God of War, Horizon 2,
really
stuff like that.
Games.
But again, it's like it just feels so short. It feels insane.
Because what's the normal cadence of systems coming out? 6 years, something like that. And what are we? We're 4.
6, 7. We're in 4. That's the thing. Like, it makes sense what he said, but I hate it.
Yeah, especially considering the first 2 years you couldn't even buy a PlayStation. It was literally impossible.
Exactly. So. Exactly. I don't like
most
this.
people didn't get theirs until 2023, and now they're gonna have to get a new one in 2025, 2026.
Fuck that. Whoa. Hell no.
Yeah. We'll see.
If we get a PS6 in 2027, I'm gonna be upset.
I also that 100% would be an investor's thing, because I don't even think we're far enough through technology to even warrant getting a PS6. Like, I just don't think they would make
what I'm saying.
Significant upgrades. It's getting to the point where we're doing the same shit that like phone sellers do, like Apple and Samsung and shit like that, where it's like, your phone doesn't get much better anymore. So like, I don't want to spend another $700, $600 on a console that's not going to be. We're still trying to solve the 4K issue. We haven't even gotten there yet.
Exactly.
So like,
exactly.
I don't know. I'm not interested, and I'm feeling really boomer about it, and I hate it.
No, I think we all kind of are. It's a weird place to be in, because like I think this generation, the jump, I got a new one because my PS4 was on its last leg, sounding like a jet plane. I was like, it's gonna die. It's going to die very, very soon. I had no choice.
Yeah, it's a thing that, like, think about the last game that came out on PS4, and then like the first few games that came out on PS5, and how little that jump was.
Exactly.
It's getting smaller.
I mean, that's
the
thing. It's like, we say that about games like that Indiana Jones game. That game we've talked about could probably come out on PS4.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
And so it's gonna take a Naughty Dog, which I don't even know if they'll get a game out in this console generation at this point. I don't know. They might skip this whole generation. Who knows? I think we haven't seen that next big jump. As much as I like Spider-Man, I think, again, the biggest thing with Spider-Man was those load times, and I think that's a big jump.
Which is really funny, because that's been a thing on PC for so long now that it's like, oh yeah,
exactly.
You guys got SSDs, yeah. We've had that for a while.
Exactly. I think my favorite part about the next generation, anticipation-wise, is just to see what Xbox calls it.
Yeah, Xbox 720, because you turn around and walk away.
What could they do? What could they do?
Xbox Series 1 XL.
How many times can they name it 1? How many ways?
They're like, dang, did we already do that? Shit, we gotta go.
The atrocity of whoever made up those names for the marketing team they gotta work on it.
Because literally, they're all basically 1. So what is it? Xbox 360, it's literally back to 0, so it's back to 1. And then it was the Xbox One, I think.
Yep. And then there's Xbox Series, and they have the Series X and S. Which that also sounds fake, and that was a big issue too, because they made the Xbox One X, which was their PS4 Pro for the Xbox.
Right.
So a lot of people, when the Xbox Series X came out, bought the Xbox One X thinking it was the newest system, and it wasn't, and it fucked a lot of people. So they gotta work on it.
Terrible marketing.
They gotta
terrible.
Like, honestly, like, just copy the who cares? Numbers. Just who cares? Just copy. Who cares?
Yeah. Just start copy. It's gonna be Xbox 2K25.
Oh, God.
I'm into it. I like it.
Give that shit to 2K. Why not?
That'd be so funny. All right, moving on very quickly. Next piece of news. This is Insider Gaming reported this. Apparently rumored that Respawn, who currently the most recent game was the Jedi Survivor, they are making a Mandalorian game, rumored to be first person, which I'm not crazy about, but it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I like third person games, guys. All right.
Me too.
Y'all remember that Boba Fett game that came out on original Xbox? That game was pretty dope.
Was the Bounty Hunter one?
Yeah, that game was pretty dope.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be like that.
Maybe. I mean, cool. Let's see if they can capitalize on that Mandalorian money. You know, I get it. I get why they're gonna do it.
Can I shoot Grogu? Will Grogu be in there? Sorry. First question: will Grogu be in there? Second question: can I shoot Grogu?
Can I shoot him?
Okay. Important question.
Also, are you gonna be Din Djarin, or are you gonna be
some random other Mandalorian? That's a good question.
I mean, in theory, I want to be Din Djarin for the plot armor, but he's bad at his job, so I don't want to be him.
Oh no!
I want to be a good Mandalorian. I want to be a Mandalorian that knows what they're doing.
And with games now, you know they're gonna pay Pedro Pascal. He's gonna get another fucking job. God damn it!
Oh my God! And now he literally is just doing the same job at this point of sitting in a booth recording lines.
Because I mean, if it's made by Respawn likes to use real actors, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yo, that's hilarious.
I don't know. I mean, it could be good. My only issue is that, like, it is not fun. So, like, Battlefront, you can play first person or you can play in third person. It is so much better.
I'm always third person.
It's just like not having something about not having guns that reload, like with the clip, the mag. Something about just guns that recharge just doesn't work.
Also, pro tip:
I love it.
third person is better for competitively because you can also see around your corners easily without actually.
That's what I was gonna say. I love that because most people don't know to do that, and they're morons, and it's very funny.
So usually, if you have a choice,
I love it.
play third person. You'll be better than everybody else. PUBG had that issue,
and you get to see the armor, which is kind of the cool part. I mean, it's one of the cool things about Mandalorian, especially, but it's one of the cool things about the characters you're trying to play in Battlefront. So.
Right, absolutely, and I would imagine you could customize the armor in the game. So I don't want to see that shit.
I don't feel strongly either way, but we'll see.
I mean, if it's a fun game, period. Yeah, I'm excited. But like, I mean, they make Apex Legends, so they got a lot of boosts and jetpacks and stuff. So
they made good games. So I'm interested. I mean, Star Wars there's a lot of good Star Wars games. So.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It'll be highly polished for sure, whatever we get.
Yeah, definitely.
Of course, I say that now. It'll be garbage.
Last piece of this part of the news. This one's for you again, Brian. Man, Sonic 3, they can't shut up. the confirmed cast member, I'm not saying this person's name that either. Alila, I don't know. Brown.
Probably Alila.
She's playing Maria. Brian, they're doing it.
Maria! Spoiler alert, she's gonna get shot in her face.
Oh no.
That's crazy, dude. I can't believe so. This is gonna be probably a fairly serious story. If it's anything that if they're taking everything from Sonic Adventure 2.
Which is so funny.
They kill Sonic in Sonic Adventure 2. Another spoiler.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm happy that I've survived long enough to see my favorite video game of all time be made into a movie. Like I'm winning.
I can't believe Sonic is getting 3 movies.
I'm winning. I have so many Sonic toys, all these things. I have so much shit.
After the atrocity that was the first image of Sonic, he's going to get a third.
He's going to get a third
and a spin-off
and
series.
a spin-off series. Sonic is winning. Sonic is
That's
up,
pretty
baby.
Good, yeah.
This is insane.
I never
what
thought.
world do we live in?
When I was 4 years old in the fucking 90s playing Sonic Spinball, I had no idea that it'd be 2024 and Sonic is still up, baby. Let's
That's
fucking
crazy.
Go. I'm excited.
Talk about a comeback. That's insane.
Yeah.
Man. No, I love it. All right. Moving on. Still in the news. In order to continue, we got to hop to the trailer park. So let's go.
Mom's spaghetti.
This is what I got on Valentine's Day.
Sonic toys.
Fucking Sonic.
That's fucking adorable.
That's fantastic.
God damn. That's really good. That's really good.
Anyway.
A bouquet of Sonic.
I don't
All righty. First trailer of the week. Guys, I'm so fucking excited.
Speaking of something that I didn't think would come back in 2024, the motherfucking X-Men.
X-Men 97 finally got a trailer. It's a continuation of the old 90s series, which now I'm mad because I have to go watch 76 episodes before March 20th or whatever date it's coming out.
Oh, God. Nah, YouTube recap for sure.
Because that was one of those shows that like it came on like every Saturday or whatever, so like you'd miss it.
You just watch
and
random
you just
episodes.
never would know when it come on.
Yeah.
So I've never watched that whole series. I've watched probably like a handful of them, but like over and over again. But and then some I've just never seen.
I couldn't tell you the ending of it. I do know. So random aside, there's an episode of the original series where Professor Xavier makes Magneto relive the Holocaust.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
And it's like,
that true? Holy fuck!
I forgot about this. This show was crazy.
Holy fuck! Yo, Professor X pulls no punches. He doesn't care.
Bro didn't give a
Holy
shit about this man. He made him relive his trauma in the Holocaust.
That's crazy.
That's evil. I'm on Magneto's side.
Honestly, that's so villainous.
That's wild.
I forgot what was the reason around it, but yeah, someone brought that up again, and I was like,
holy
damn.
Fuck.
But yeah, this looks good.
Funny.
It looks great. They took away Rogue's big old keister that she had in the original series, so that's sad. But outside of that, I'm interested.
Yeah.
I wonder if the similar animators that worked on Invincible did this, because it has a similar like art style to me.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was one of my things. Is like, it looks janky and kind of ugly at times, but I think that's clearly purposeful, and I'm kind of riding with it. I wish it was a little better, yes, but I'm still very happy with it. But it's just interesting.
You could have definitely done. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, just echoing what Oscar said. Like you can tell that it's made recently, but I kind of wish go either more fully one way or the other. Like because it does look a little goofy.
And like, I get it. Like, no one wants to fucking hand draw that shit for hours on end, you know?
I mean,
but they have the money to do it.
I get it. No,
this could be so high production if they want it to be. They're very purposely choosing it.
Disney's the king of hand drawn stuff. Or at least it used to be.
They used to be.
The lines are simple. That's very yeah. We'll see.
I mean, I'm still very excited. Like that the shot that's the most simple, and it's also like the coolest in my opinion, is when Gambit is on top of Wolverine and he charges up Wolverine's claws and they're running. Like, it's cool as fuck. Like, I love that. But if you look at it, it's very simple in terms of the background, and there's like a couple rocks they're running by and everything, you know?
And that's the thing, like anime gets away with it with being pretty simple animation wise because they usually like really, really well drawn kind of stuff. Where it's like some of this doesn't seem like it's like it's pretty simple and also it's not super animated the things that they do.
The best.
Yeah. I mean, but we'll see. I'm still very excited. It looks really cool. The voices seem to be. I think they've said that they've gotten as many of the original actors as they can that are still alive and or are not canceled. I think maybe I don't know.
Oh God. Well, we found out half of them were racist, and then the other half.
No. Which would be very ironic for the X-Men, you know.
Right.
But no, I'm excited. March 20th. I don't know if it's week to week or if they're dropping it all at once, and I also don't know how many episodes it is. But fine, exciting stuff.
It seems
we'll
like
see if this ties into Deadpool.
Yeah, it seems like they're probably setting it up to make it so they can do a lot of it, and that's probably another reason why it's so simple.
Yeah,
so they can make episodes pretty quick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just give me that theme song, baby.
And then
I like the new Marvel animation logo
story. Like they're just gonna do one and done kind of thing.
That'd be interesting.
I don't know.
I guess it all depends on who watches it. What happens?
Exactly. Yeah.
What if they left it off and then it get canceled again?
Oh no. That would be so sad. That'd be so sad.
Oh my God, will they leave it on a cliffhanger and then just like, well, that didn't get the reception we wanted.
We'll see you in another 25 years or whatever.
Yeah, it's on Paramount now. Paramount bought Disney Plus.
Oh no,
North Korea Studios.
Oh Christ!
I'm gonna pick it back up. God, that'd be funny.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Invincible season 2, part 2 got a trailer. But yeah, I mean, me and Brian briefly talked about season 1 a couple before the break last year. I wish it was a full season and it wasn't split up. I still feel that way, but I'm excited. I mean, it's fine. You know, I like Invincible as much as most people, I feel.
Yeah, this most recent season was good, not great. I got some spoilers on kind of things that begin to happen, and I don't think I'm gonna like the storyline. That's the place where it's kind of going.
Uh-oh.
And that's kind of, I think the lightning in the bottle they struck with the first season isn't going to continue.
Yeah.
And I think that's good. Like, I don't actually think that I like Invincible story. So
it's based off graphic novel series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like all this stuff is like already out. So we already could, if you wanted to spoil everything for you could all the way to the end.
And they are. Yeah. And they're following it pretty close.
Yeah. From what it sounds like. And based on this storyline.
I do know some stuff that it does get pretty weird and
yeah.
Not spoiler, but non-spoiler. It's not entirely Omni-Man centric.
Yes.
You know? So there's a lot of other shit.
And that's one of those things that I think...
I don't know how I feel about that.
I think that's the most interesting story, and everything out of that isn't as interesting.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah.
But
we'll see. I mean, we'll still watch it.
I'll watch it. Still good. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. It's still good. But just not what I expected, I guess. It's not as like shocking and subvert your expectations as I think the show originally was. And that's kind of grabbed everybody.
Yeah, I agree. Last trailer real quick. This is for Iwájú. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right either. This is for Disney new series coming to Disney Plus, but it's notable that it's Disney's first animation collaboration with an outside studio in 100 fucking years.
That's crazy.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
It looks really cool though. It's futuristic Nigeria. It looks dope as shit. It looks very pretty.
It's really beautiful.
I kind of wish, I was saying this before we recorded, I wish it was a movie.
Yeah.
But a series is still cool, you know?
That's probably what's the most unfortunate about it. Because I think they're taking some caution now because of a lot of their movies recently haven't been doing so well in theaters. So they're trying to maybe temper their expectations. But like, if I saw this as like a movie, I mean, I'm gonna watch it regardless. But like, this is the first thing that Disney's made in a while, animation wise, and I'm like interested in. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Of course, it's got black people in it, so that helps. But I don't know. It looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. Very excited for it. Looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it. Those are the news. We ran along, but we're about to talk about something for I don't know how long. It might be 5 minutes. Who knows? But in order to do so, guys, we got to move on to our main topic of the week that we're trapped in another fortress in. This is a fortress. Oh, this one makes me sad. This one makes me sleepy.
You could say a web, not a fortress.
We're trapped. God, we're trapped in so many broken windows or just some shower curtain that looks like some kind of web or some dumb shit. My God, how many times? I get it.
We're trapped in the back of a taxi.
Oh God, yes, because we are trapped in the fortress of
Madam Web. A really interesting character.
Question mark?
That has been made into something else, something different.
Guys, I can't believe we dedicated an episode to this movie.
When I heard Professor X.
So
we'll get. Yeah.
No, when I first heard about Dakota Johnson's tour, where she's basically shitting on this movie every chance she got, or just being like, I don't know shit about any of this, I'm just getting a paycheck. She was the biggest, like, I'm in here for the paycheck and the paycheck only, and I fuck with that. So that made me interested.
Dude.
And then the reviews came out, and I was like, I have to watch this. I have to.
Yeah. And like, it shows, but I also kind of liked her, like I kind of liked that about her.
Yes,
I mean, she clearly was tricked in thinking that this was an MCU Marvel movie, and then was like, "Oh shit, this is the other one."
Your agent is your villain for doing that to you.
For real,
sure.
She's like calling up Tom Holland, like, "Wait, why are you not here?" Like,
it's to the point where they don't even say Spider-Man.
No,
we'll get into it. We'll get into it.
Oh man,
this shit is hilarious.
Yeah, listeners, we're trapped in Madam Web's web of lies and God, I don't know.
Yeah.
Non-spoilers. I saw it literally 6 hours ago. I saw it today after working. Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I fell asleep during this movie. But I will give this movie the benefit of the doubt in the sense I was so tired, I probably would have fallen asleep in any movie at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say there was a point where I was watching it where I was like, I'm really fighting to not fall asleep right now. And it got to a point where I just said, fuck it, sleep is worth more to me right now than watching this movie.
Better.
So I chose to fall asleep instead of continuing to watch this movie. And I do not regret it. I don't regret it one bit.
Yeah, I think there were some teenagers / middle schoolers or maybe early high schoolers next to me when we were watching this movie, and they just left halfway through. They just got up and left.
Oh shit!
And I was like, "Am I the idiot for staying? Like they're young kids. They probably understand, what's going on here." Like
the only So there's multiple things. I went and saw the matinee on Friday, 10:45 matinee. I went and saw a movie at 10:45 in the morning.
Oh my god!
Fucking psychopathic. There's about me and like 6 people in there. First of all, when I walked into the theater, I paid for my ticket online. I was like, there's no one at the stand to like show my ticket to. So I went up to the concession. I was like, hey man, do I show you my ticket? And he said, don't worry about it. So I could have gotten this movie for free, first of all. And then the only other thing I remember about this movie was at one point, a guy went to go get popcorn, came back, stepped on an older gentleman's foot. And the man went, ouch.
Really? That was more exciting than anything that happened.
I was gonna say
it was like a cartoon level scream. The guy just goes, "Oh, my bad," and that was the only thing that was interesting that happened in my experience of watching.
Oh my god,
movie.
That's funny.
Yep.
That's great.
That's way more exciting than anything that happened on the screen. That's for sure.
I laughed more right now than I did this whole movie.
Oh, I was laughing.
Yeah.
I feel bad, guys. I feel bad. Like
I do too. I really want the women like superheroes to get.
Okay,
sorry, I'm not gonna say female. I want the women superheroes to get a good solid movie.
They deserve it. And there's so many cool, interesting characters. These are some of the cool, interesting characters.
And like, how did you fuck this like pieces? Like in all the bad ones that I've seen recently, there's definitely good things to take out of them. This one less so, but also I think my expectations were so low that, like, you know, it can only go up. So like you kind of start looking for like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool. Oh yeah, that's cool.
No,
it was tough. It was tough for this movie.
This movie is a nothing sandwich. There is nothing. There is no soul.
Was there budget,
there's no
like
script.
$20?
There was no love. It was $80 million.
Yes.
So $80 million was put into it. I mean,
million?
that's something. It's not much these days, especially for a superhero movie. And I mean, they didn't need but $80 million because nothing fucking happens in this goddamn movie. Not a thing. It's not a superhero movie.
No, it is not. They tricked you in the trailers with stuff we'll talk about and when we hit spoilers, but it's just like I just again this goes back to a theory that I think they just wanted to make a bad movie with women in it so they could say, "Here, we gave it to you. It's bad, so we're not going to do it ever again." I really hope that's not true because I don't know how you make this such a Sony. What I don't get it. I don't understand. It blows my fucking mind. That you and look, there's been a lot of like stuff about this movie going through production and stuff you can see visually on the screen where it's like, yeah, that's not what that person just said with their mouth. They ADR'd that, which we'll get to. But like, I don't
understand how you had faith
enough
to release this movie. I know we had the whole Batgirl situation where they found out that they can get money back by just not releasing it.
Batgirl has to be better than this. Oh my God.
I think anything would be better than this. This is one of the worst movies I've seen in the past 5 years. I hate to be that
really
way.
Bad.
And that, like Devin said, I didn't have high expectations by any means, but like I had a lot of trouble with Marvels. Marvels has way more to it. I judge Marvels very harshly. Maybe I should have been nicer if I knew that this was what I'm going to get 6 months later.
Perhaps I judged you too harshly.
Yes, because what the fuck did I watch? What the fuck did I watch? That's not it wasn't even a movie. It was incomprehensible at times.
You know what I just thought of, y'all? That this movie made me think of? This movie brought me to this idea. What happens at like a launch event, like a premiere, when it's like a terrible
when the movie sucks?
Like
they don't go. The actors do the carpet and then go home. They don't watch.
Did they actually do that?
Yeah, she said she did.
I guarantee.
She said she did not see the movie and she doesn't know when she'll see it. Dakota Johnson. She literally said that. So she went in that dress wearing basically nothing and then went the fuck home. She did not go and sit inside and watch that movie.
No.
Yep.
Oh no.
Yeah. That's tough.
No, that's terrible.
That's so tough.
That's bad, dude. That's bad.
Homegirl went full. I'm here for the paycheck and the paycheck only, and and
you can see it on the screen, man. Like no one cares, dude. Nobody fucking cares about this movie.
Yeah. Which is sad because like I said, I think there were good ideas that could have been a really cool movie, like an evil Spider-Man chasing you. That's a pretty cool idea to like put in a movie.
Which I guess on paper. But you can't call him Spider-Man. We'll get to it, but he's Jumpman in this movie.
Las Arañas.
Look, again, like I will. There are some positive things I will say in spoilers, like one positive thing, but I don't know if it was because I was sleepy, cranky, or what. I would love to give this movie a second chance, but not anytime soon, and not for money. Like I just spent $15 to take a nap for 20 minutes, and it was worth it. It was worth it. But I just, yeah,
it was worth it.
We had such hope for a split second.
Because I was laughing at some stuff that they didn't intend for us to laugh at.
Morbius is better than this.
That's the craziest thing.
Is probably better than this.
Oh no,
it is. I like Morbius more than Venom 2, and I know that's probably I think that's a lesser opinion for most people, but I even think Venom 2 is better than this. Venom 2 is at least kind of entertaining. Yes. This is just fucking.
This is just
boring.
This should have been on the CW. This should never have seen the silver screen. This is a CW fucking movie, and you know what?
This is CW quality.
Are we at spoilers yet? Can I talk about spoilers yet?
Yeah, all right. Let's do spoilers from here, listeners. If you haven't seen Madam Web, I feel bad saying this. I don't think you should go pay for this movie. Wait till it's free somewhere.
Wait for it to stream. Steal it. I don't know.
The cost of your time, like
if you have like a bunch of friends and some drinks, I still don't know if it'll be worth it. But
that's my biggest regret is going to it sober. because that was what the fuck was that. But yeah, so the biggest spoiler is this is not a fucking superhero movie. Every single thing they showed in the trailer of anybody in a fucking suit outside of the main villain is literally a dream sequence. They do not get their powers. They do not do anything. No. They do not have fun. This is not.
They give you a little montage at the end. They give you a montage at the end of what they're going to be, and then you don't actually get to see.
Who thought this was a good idea? Even in origin story movies, you have half of the movie where you actually be the fucking person you're supposed to be. Yeah. They didn't do that.
I thought if anything, Madam Web would. Yeah.
I'm sorry. They didn't even explain how the three girls are going to get the powers.
Right. We don't even know.
No, they said fuck it. They said nope. No, I don't care.
Like, you just know that they're going to be spider people at some point, but you have no idea how they're going to, like, is that spider going to bite them? Are they going to go to Peru themselves? Like, what?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, so
I made the joke, like, at the end, she talks about, like, the future, this future is happening or some shit like that. It's like the future's going to happen in one way or another. And I just wrote down, this future is definitely not happening. There's no future for this series or these characters. This future is dead.
Because like that shot of them, the dream sequence of them killing that guy was cool. Like the three of them combining stuff. Man, show me more of that.
Yeah.
It looked pretty cool. It looked pretty cool.
Show me more of that. Show me the interesting part.
Hologram Madam Web floating behind them in her red suit.
Oh my god.
Little goofy, but whatever. Whatever. Yeah.
Like, can she walk?
So wait, can we talk about her Madam Web outfit at the end when she's in the wheelchair?
Oh god.
When she's paralyzed? What happened?
Oh, we're gonna go straight to that because I do want to talk about that because it was really weird.
Yes.
So my theory, I thought about this really hard today. It's like, of course we know that she got hit in the eyes with the fireworks when she fell into the water, but no real damage would have been done to her body. I'm thinking
you're right.
The idea was supposed to be that the venom was slowly creeping through her, and that's what made her paralyzed. But they did not do a good job of telling you that. Because
she's just all of a sudden in a wheelchair.
She's just all of a sudden
or like, was she recovering, or is she going to walk eventually?
So in Madam Web's story, it was, and this, I don't know why they changed this. There's no reason to change this, but that the thing that she was like, oh, I got saved from my, issue when I was growing in my mom's womb because they got bit by the spider that made me stronger. She's supposed to have that disease, and that's the reason that she can't move. So I don't know why they wrote in a spot that she doesn't have that disease because of becoming Madam Web, when that's her whole storyline is having a muscular issue that keeps her wheelchair bound. And then still make her wheelchair bound by instead making her fall in the water and getting hit with the fucking Pepsi sign instead. Why did you do that?
The dude grab her leg then at least, not her hand.
She very clearly got hit in the head, but no other part of the body. So she already paralyzed them.
No. You can make an interesting disabled character and have them be disabled from birth, but instead they made it stupid. Right. Why did they do that?
That whole apartment scene and everything, that was probably the most CW of everything.
Yes.
Of that whole window. They're looking out the window at the city and she's telling the future. She's like, nice, you got Chinese food again? Which made me laugh when Sydney Sweeney goes, how'd you know? Girl, were you in this movie the whole time? What do you mean?
She is another one that she got bamboozled 100%. She doesn't even make sense in this movie. It doesn't even feel right when she shows up on the screen. It looks like she's cosplaying the whole time. Her hair doesn't make any sense. Every line she delivers sounds like fucking mud. What happened? And I don't think she's a bad actress by any means, but like, what the fuck happened with that? Well, they definitely just wanted a big name to put in there. Dakota Johnson's just Jessica Jones version 2. What's happening?
Oh yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, man, it's just it's so boring. When I fell asleep, I saw it with Jackie because she's in town, and I saw it with her. And I literally was like, I'm going to bed. I'm going to take a nap. And then I woke up and I had her explain to me what I missed. And I was like, all right, cool. It was nothing. It was fine. It was fine.
Yeah.
It's totally okay. I caught up immediately. It's great.
I don't even know. I don't even want to talk about the storyline because there's not really a storyline.
Okay. The only thing I want to talk about is the whole movie is just running from one place to another. The whole fucking but it's not. It's like
terrible.
They had 3 sets. They had a random forest. They had a hotel room, and then they had a street, and that's about it. And fucking Peter Parker's future home in Queens, which we'll talk about let's just talk
And
about that now. Why did they take the pregnant lady in the car and put them in it? Why did they do this? They
yeah,
put this woman in such harm by being in the car with her when they could have just said, Ben, take you and your sister, go to the hospital.
right.
We'll
We'll
stay
stay
here,
here.
lead the bad guy to us and not towards
Hmm.
this pregnant woman who's about to have a baby.
Uncle Ben deserves to die just based on his dumbass decision making throughout this movie.
He's bad.
Yeah.
Adam Scott as Uncle Ben is really funny, which I'm also confused about.
Yeah.
When does
not right?
What does Spider-Man
Not
take place
good.
in this timeline? Because that was supposed to be 03,
Bruh.
and that man is not about to become an old ass motherfucker in 20 years.
It's about to be like the Obi-Wan Kenobi time jump of he turns 40 and then a million years old.
Bro
Yeah.
ages
in
like
2 years.
milk. Jesus fuck. And
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he's younger
Okay, so
in
that's-
the Tom Holland version of Spider-Man, but like if it was like the Tobey Maguire version of Spider-Man, that man is every bit of 70 years old. Like, what the fuck?
Well, that's the interesting thing is that I did see some stuff, and you can kind of see in the movie that this movie was originally clearly meant to take place in the 90s, and then something happened, and I think they were going to do that in the 90s, and then I had heard a rumor that they wanted it to take place in the 90s, and that the ending was going to be revealed that this took place in the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man universe.
Oh.
But then something happened, and they decided to go with the Tom Holland universe, so they changed it to 2003. And so I think they had to
Stupid.
just fuck up with production, and that's why there's the music. Some of the music doesn't quite make sense all of the time. It's very back and forth to 90s and then also 2003, like Britney Spears' Toxic and shit.
That explains.
Mhm.
So it's
That
weird.
explains why they sat so long on the Beyonce poster. They were like, "We want you to remind you this is fucking 03, baby."
Yeah.
Because I was like, "Why'd they sit on that frame for so long? That's really weird."
Yeah. A song like Toxic that will literally make girls that are completely sober just jump on top of a table and start dancing.
That was
That
weird.
was weird.
Yeah,
weird.
Everything was weird.
I just love.
Also, all of those people were looking up her skirt. Like there was the whole table, the whole thing.
But that was just a weird vibe in that diner. Is it like a trucker diner?
It's a weird
in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't
There
understand.
is an upskirt scene. Why is there an upskirt scene in this fucking movie?
It's
When
weird.
they're walking up the subway
weird.
stairs, they show the panties of Sydney Sweeney. That is supposed to be a child in
that's
this
weird.
movie. Why the fuck did they
Yeah.
do that?
Mm.
That is gross and weird.
I don't
3 women wrote this movie. Why?
A
What's
woman
the
directed this
director?
movie, I'm pretty sure.
Why did we do this? I don't know. That was really weird to me. I
don't
groaned
know.
out loud when
I
I
don't
saw
know.
that
Yeah.
shit. But also talking about these characters, there is no chemistry. Absolutely -1 chemistry through every single. Like these 3 girls were supposed to be like, oh, we're all fun and we're all different, but we become friends. Like that was supposed to be the point. I felt none of that. Not even a little bit.
Yeah.
Every single time they
It-
spoke to each other, I was pissed off because it felt
It's
so
so
forced
cringy.
Honestly-
and so stupid and so awful. Why are they all just like weird archetypes and not actual really full blown out characters? Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm just a little schoolgirl that's really shy and everything.
This movie. Yeah, this movie's 2 hours.
It's-
That's enough time to develop 4
Yeah.
people. Like, what the fuck?
They're all so
Yeah.
one dimensional in such a disgusting way to the
Yeah.
point that it's like you're caricatures. You're not real people. To the point that they literally make
Yeah.
Sydney Sweeney wear a schoolgirl outfit the entire time to really beat in your head that
The
she's
whole
just
fucking
she's just a
time.
little nerdy schoolgirl. We know what Sydney Sweeney looks like. She doesn't look like that. This is feels stupid. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
It's so.
I think
It's so
I
weird.
literally had the thought in the taxi scene of like they should have had some like comedy writers write this scene because like
Something.
I think Marvel does a pretty good job of like witty banter and stuff.
For
but, like,
sure.
Yeah.
you could definitely make this funnier and develop these characters more at the same time with just some better dialogue. But a lot of the dialogue in the movie is just really cringy and bad.
Bad.
Like,
Yeah.
terrible.
And don't ask me what any of their names are because I don't know.
They-
I don't
I
know
don't
what
remember
any of
either.
their
They literally don't
remember, like,
names are.
I just some of the lines were really bad, but I just love when she drops them off in the woods and she's like, "Don't do anything dumb." It's like you're driving around a stolen taxi in the woods. First of all, like a taxi outside of the borders of the city would be so weird. But then
I need
you're going to leave
clarification.
3 teenage girls till it's dark, and you thought they were going to stay there, and then she's just driving around a stolen taxi all week.
She was a bad mom.
and she
Her whole
tells them to do
Yeah.
don't do anything dumb. Like, are you stupid?
These women
Like,
are being actively tracked down to be murdered, and she's like, "Let me go to Peru for a week, have a nice little vacation.
Yeah,
Let me go
oh my
here
God.
see you in 3 hours." These women are getting murdered. They're going to murder these women. Stop leaving them. Why do you keep leaving them?
Ugh,
Oh, it's so
yeah.
funny.
Uh,
I need clarification about the woods thing because that's where I started to fall asleep. But I woke up and Jackie
Mhm.
told me this, and I need to know if this is true. When they left the woods against Dakota Johnson's will, and they left it. Did they really leave the fire going?
I don't remember them starting a fire.
I don't remember the fire at all.
Oh, okay.
That means the only thing that made me mad about the wood scene is at one point she walks to go and get them and they get killed. And then she gets the taxi and somehow takes the exact same amount of time to fucking get to them when you are now driving a vehicle.
Longer.
How did that happen?
Longer.
How did it take?
Yeah.
You were walking the first time. How did you still not get to them until the very last fucking second? You should have gone 60 miles per hour faster. And what happened? What happened?
This is where I also knew this movie was terrible in the fact that not once, but twice does her big, I'm going to beat the villain involve her just hitting the villain with a car.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Like, her
she
main
does it
superpowers
twice.
are actually just...
I'm like...
No, hold on. Her superpowers are really just Grand Theft Auto and vehicular manslaughter and a little bit of... and some arson. That's like her... Madam Web's superpowers are just crime. She's actually the bigger criminal in this movie.
Else?
She actually results in more death than the main villain. She gets 3 police officers killed, or like however many.
Mike Epps dies.
She gets the helicopter crew killed. So that's like some paramedics and some police and that. Yep. She destroys that warehouse. Stole multiple people. The person that got dropped off by the ambulance that she stole, that person's probably dead now. So like,
as far as we know, the person that was tracking them actively killed a nobody, and she killed everybody.
Yeah, he killed 2 people at the very beginning, and then I guess kind of her mom. So that's 3. Her body count is a lot higher than his. I mean,
it's kind of wild.
If we're just comparing that,
because you brought it up, I couldn't believe homeboy shot a pregnant lady in the opening minutes of this movie.
Yeah, that was wild.
I couldn't believe. I was like, wow, we're starting with this? Holy shit.
And that makes no sense. That whole storyline was so the villain. We can talk about the fucking villain.
Please.
The villain
is one of the absolute fucking worst.
What is his name?
It was Ezekiel.
Who cares?
I believe it was Ezekiel.
Evil Spider-Man.
And we don't call him Evil Spider-Man. At no point does anyone actually give him like a cool like super name or anything like that. He's just fucking Zeke. My guy Zeke is just out here in some Spider-Man outfit that we have no idea how he came about it, if he made it himself or what happened. He just has one, and that's just okay. We're supposed to accept that. His whole storyline is, hello, I'm the bad guy. He has no story. Every single time he has a chance to say anything, all he says is, I came from nothing. Okay. What the fuck does that have to do with the spider?
And it's usually not even what he said.
They killed me.
This is the point, is that all words, I don't think a single line of his was said on the day. Everything he says was 80 yards after the fact. You can see it. His mouth isn't moving at the same. It's awful. It's fucking terrible.
My thought process is they were filming this pretty shortly, like pretty quickly. All of his lines got botched in the studio, and they were like, we're not redoing any of these scenes. We're not redoing the audio for this. Just dub it in post. We'll fix it. Whatever. Who cares? Because there's sometimes that literally it cuts out before he's finished what he's saying. It's that kind of bad that I was like appalled at how bad it was. Because sometimes he just, I just want to remind you that I'm having a bad. What is happening with this line? Who is saying? Why are you saying? It doesn't even sound like you're in the same room as these. Huh?
It's really bad.
Who did?
It's honestly disrespectful to your audience to make a movie this bad.
It's disrespectful.
Like,
I felt disrespected by this movie. Like
it's really not. That, and then
the more I think about it,
his whole reasoning of he keeps having a vision of them killing him in his home. And my thing, I told Jackie afterwards, why didn't he just move? I needed to know. I just needed him to do something so that I could believe that maybe he had another vision where he died somewhere else, but it was always them. Because it's just like, move somewhere. And if the vision still happens, then you have a problem. But like, you just stayed there in the dirt in the murder house,
man. Just don't be in the
And that's another thing, that somehow with this movie being as long as it is, everything moves so quickly. And the whole scene with him shooting the pregnant lady moved way too fast to understand like his motivation.
Oh my god!
And then they were just trying to get through that part.
And then the whole thing with him keep dying too, and him trying to figure out how to not die. They moved through that way too fast. Why the fuck? We're just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna fuck this lady, and also she works from this place, but I can get this technology from her.
That's a weird thing to tell a stranger,
right?
Yeah. Do you ever have the same dream that you just?
He literally told a stranger, "I'm gonna murder these 3 women because I have visions they're gonna kill me." And she's like, "Oh, that's a mood killer, I guess."
All right. Yeah, she was one of the best parts of the movie because she was funny.
Yeah. What the hell? The only funny person. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's hard to think of a worse villain. I feel bad, but like, fuck. He got nothing.
It was nothing. No motivation, no interest, no plot character development. He was just a bad guy that didn't want to die. And like valid, I guess, but like that's so stupid.
It's disappointing because I feel like if they had done this concept better, like an evil Spider-Man chasing you when you have no powers, because like, Venom is like a bad Spider-Man, but this is like, if you're just like regular people and there's no other Spider-Man in sight, it's a pretty scary.
It could have been a horror movie.
It could have been really cool.
Yeah, super interesting.
Could have been so cool.
Yeah.
But it's just we're really lazy with it. Oh, look, he's walking on the ceiling. Oh, look, he's walking on.
He uses no buildings. Spider-Man powers. He punches.
He's pulling
poisons
people
you,
under stuff,
and he walks on the ceiling.
He's got some gnarly poison, and is hilarious every time he got hit with the car. He got hit with the car twice.
Twice.
Pretty effective.
Which isn't a lot, but more than I expected.
He got hit with fireworks.
To happen in the like. When it's like it's like supposed to be a big moment. And it's like, oh, what's she gonna do? Nope. Oh, I'll just hit him with a car again. This time an ambulance. Should have
been an ice cream truck. That would have been funny. But they didn't think about that kind of stuff.
And then he's killed by Pepsi Cola. So shout out to Pepsi Cola.
Pepsi Cola, the real winner. This movie
again
is so bad.
Did Pepsi pay to be in this movie? Because that would be a Pepsi movie.
For sure.
It had to be at the last minute. Yeah.
And it's funny because they show the S in the beginning and they thought they were being artsy with it. That wasn't artsy. That was fucking stupid. It's so dumb. This movie is so dumb. Everything about this movie fucking sucks.
And like, hold on, okay, are fireworks that dangerous? Like, if you get hit in the chest with a firework,
I've been hit with a firework.
Are you okay?
Yes, you're okay. I got hit with a fucking Roman candle.
Like, you're gonna have to get a new shirt. But like, and you might be a little bruised or burnt or whatever. But like, you're gonna be.
That's another.
One of these fireworks put a hole in a brick wall.
Why did that happen?
Like a bazooka.
That was a straight up RPG.
And like that was another thing that bothered me was like we have this whole scene where she finds out that homeboy, which is Mike Epps, which is really fucking funny, that homeboy's going to die, and that's gonna happen.
Yep.
Realistically, you would have thought that them talking about the fireworks building would be like, oh shit, he's gonna get hurt in the fireworks building because it's gonna blow up and the fireworks are gonna happen. Motherfucker gets hit by a car driving 12 miles per hour randomly right after that happened. That's how he gets hit. And like, obviously they want to use the fireworks for later, which was also dumb. That was a dumb fucking plot point. But the whole time I was like, you have a building that you have stated is full of fireworks and you kill him that way instead? What the fuck? I was like, okay, they just don't want to pay for it. You just don't want to pay for the fireworks going and like exploding. Like, because why did you do that? Why did you note that in the movie and be like, yes, this fireworks building is very dangerous. Just kidding. This fucking Camaro is gonna hit you.
Yeah.
I hate this movie. I hate it because that is. I'm done.
Oh no, we broke Brian. He got to his point.
And I mean, yeah.
It was just so everything that happened was just like, why did you do it like that? You had choices.
Yeah.
It was so poorly written. It was very.
It feels like a high school student wrote this and then ran out of budget halfway through. Like
even if like, okay, maybe these right, it's written by women, great. Yeah. Even if you know nothing about comics, and which is that's not the issue with this movie really. Like, you could talk. That's a whole different conversation. You can still do a lot better than what they ended up doing. I mean, it just made no like the decision making, dialogue, the way the plot went. None of it.
I mean, I would love to see what like this original's script was, and before any kind of studio interference, because I don't know how much better it could have been. I don't know,
but it couldn't have been worse. I mean, shoot, whatever the studio said, they should have just let them do what they were going to do.
Yeah, who cares?
Listen,
because you could have done it. I think that it seems like they wanted to not really do a superhero movie, and it's like, okay, fine, if you're going to do it that way, and just kind of introduce these characters for later. You could have maybe done it a little bit better in a way that we would have embraced. But this is just so bad. And the fact that you teased what they could be in the future, that just made it worse.
Yep.
Like
a future that again is not gonna happen. We're not gonna see that future.
And that's kind of like my thought
Really
process. It's
sad.
like you're doing a whole thing with like, you know, time continuum and whatever, seeing the future and shit like that. Just show more. Show more of what that future looks like and have that be the issue. Have Madam Web's whole like thing is the fact that she's stuck in between time periods and she's struggling with that. Make that part of it where it's like I don't know what's happened now and what's happening before and what's happening after. Shit like that. Like they kind of did with Attack on Titan. Do something like that. Make it really interesting. And that gives you a foolproof way to go ahead and put them in their costumes and doing shit more often. Do stuff like that. You can have like little, like, I don't know, cuts in between where like, oh, I see Sydney Sweeney running away from the big Spider-Man dude. And then I'm also seeing her at the same time running in her spider outfit, doing cool shit. Do shit like that. There was something that could have been done here, but instead you decided to be fucking lazy about it. The best thing that would have happened in this movie is at the very end, they just do a fucking, what's that damn movie? I can't even remember. Where the whole time they just goes back to the beginning, where she just wakes up again.
I was gonna say,
just do that,
she just wakes up.
Would have been fucking hilarious. I don't know what this was.
That would have been better, honestly. Or like, oh, sorry.
There's the entire movie just make it a dream sequence and just be like she woke up and like damn, so that's what my day's gonna look like.
I thought it might be cool if they like killed. I thought it might be cool if they had like killed her, and then later he like thought he had it taken care of, and then somehow she was like responsible for them getting their powers, and they kill him anyway later. I thought that would have been cool.
Sure.
Like something, you know, just something, or like
just
she
something.
could have seen into the future
just
farther.
Something sums it up perfectly.
Because it seemed like her powers, she could only see in the future like 10 minutes. So like if she could actually see years in the future.
No, not by the end. Let's quickly. I want to mention this. By the end, she definitely alluded to the fact that she can see her. Let me say this. Her friend, Ben Parker, clearly she knows he's going to die and she is not going to do a damn thing about it. She is absolutely going to let her friend die.
She can't mess with it. It's fate.
And she also can go back in the past. I forgot when she met the guy in Peru who basically, when first of all, was just waiting for her in the woods the whole 20 years, I guess, whenever she was going to come back and need answers. And like she could go back in the past and literally met and hugged her mom. I was like, that was too much.
I don't even want to get into that story. Like that's another thing that was just like y'all did not. So y'all were not writing when you did it. There's no way that you thought of this.
One positive
and you went through rewrites and made that and still did like, yeah, one day I'm gonna meet your daughter and she's gonna come back. What the fuck are you doing here?
Dude, he was literally just chilling on that hill for 20 years.
And the only one you don't see anybody else from that fucking village because somehow he's the only one.
And he's wearing regular clothes now, where he was wearing gnarly ass Spider-Man outfit before.
They didn't want to pay for.
Wearing like a.
They didn't want to pay for a full cast of people. You could have definitely done a thing where like they all come, jump back down from the fucking trees or something like that, wearing the cool stuff. Be very cultural. Take her through some kind of like big ceremony with a bunch of them and they're chanting or something. No, it's one motherfucker in a random ass cave dressed in normal ass clothes. Just be like, hey. I knew you'd come back someday. I went to the store. I got some milk. Did you want some food? Are you chilling? Okay, cool. What the fuck are you doing? He was
wearing the crazy stuff the first time around.
What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
They did not give a
that first
shit.
Time around when he picks up the mom and he flies in the trees. That shit looked terrible.
They did not give a shit about this movie, dude. They did not give a shit.
Yeah. Real quick, I did really love her delivery of that line when she was like going through the mom's notes and she's like, Las arañas, like about like, oh, it's the spider people. Like,
what made her go through arañas? That? What made her even look into that? Like, oh, this man, he's a Spider-Man. Better look at my mom's notes.
Oh my god!
And then last thing I want to say, and this is what made me literally fucking groan. I don't even know if I have it fucking up anymore. It literally made me groan. Was the quote? The quote, instead of with great power comes great responsibility. That is the Spider-Man quote. We all know it. They said, and I quote, "When you take on the responsibility, great power will come."
That's so fucking dumb.
They don't give a shit about this movie, dude. They don't give a shit.
Why?
And like, why?
You don't have to put it in there.
Just don't put it in there at all.
Or not. Or just don't. She's not Spider-Man. What are we doing?
Yeah.
And who says it? That random motherfucker in that cave.
We understand this movie's connected to Spider-Man. We know Ben Parker. We know Peter is about to be born. You don't need to say the line.
This is a fan film. This is a film made by college students that really like Spider-Man, but didn't have the budget to make Spider-Man.
If it was an actual fan film, it would have been way better.
It would have been way better. It's CW. It's Smallville. That's what it is. It's just Smallville.
Hey, don't disrespect Smallville like that. Smallville will run circles around this movie.
Damn.
Look, I will say there's one positive thing that I could say about this movie. I kind of like the look of her using her powers at the end that she can be in like multiple places at once. I thought that was cool. That was like they did it one time and they never.
But it was confusing then too, because it's like, is she actually doing it? Because then he punched her so quick. But
he punched her back to reality
to save them, to like pull them up from where they were falling off and stuff. But it's like, how does that power really work? We barely got any.
And that pissed
Devin. I'm grasping at straws.
Yeah. And also, is there a ceiling on her power? She can see the future. She can be in multiple places. Like, what the fuck? Is it time her power? Like, just kind of random time stuff?
That pissed me off. I didn't like it. Because that whole time, while she was doing that, he was just sitting there watching. It took him that long to kick her in her fucking shit. While watching her do whatever
it's unclear what power she has.
Because they weren't clear on what power she has. Because Madam Web is basically just like a side quest giver in the Spider-Man universe.
I'm about to say, they're like, shit, we got to make some shit.
It's Charlie's Angels, and she's whatever, Bosco or whatever the fuck his name is.
It could have been. It's sad because it really could have been cool. And I think the next movie of this would be a good movie. Like, or at least it has the potential, if they would actually give the three girls their powers and Madam Web's at full power. I think you could have a really fun, really cool.
Something would have happened in that version of the movie. They didn't need an origin story for this, especially if they're going to tell it like this. That was just that was an atrocity.
Yeah.
I also don't know why they wanted to do 4 origins in one movie. Like, I don't get it.
Listen, the Sony verse is somehow worse than the DC.
It is way worse.
It is.
At least the DC movies are watchable.
They're watchable, yeah.
This shit isn't.
These movies are struggling.
Whatever Sony's doing, it's time to blow it up, man. Just the one who they haven't the Hunter one is coming out. Just don't.
Craven? Yeah, I don't know, man.
Don't put that one out.
Look, I will say I laughed out loud when this movie starts and the Marvel logo pops up and it says in association with at the top. I have never seen in association with bigger in my life. I think Marvel saw this movie and they're like, yeah, how you normally put it really tiny so most people just see Marvel. You better blow that shit up. This is not our shit. No. All right,
I feel bad for all the people.
Thoughts?
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I feel bad for the people that don't, because we know the distinctions.
That
right?
don't know.
There's some people that go to the movies that just like, oh, this is another Marvel movie, and it's like, what the fuck?
There are people that are in this movie that think that.
But yeah.
Oh man.
It's a pretty different movie from anything in the MCU. That's for sure.
Yeah.
0 out of 10. I hated this movie with all of my being.
Is this worse than The Flash?
This is worse than The Flash, no question. The Flash at least had something that.
The Flash was The Flash looked good.
I laughed at some of Ezra Miller's jokes. I laughed at how bad this movie was, and that's it.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
The only last 2 things I have is one, I got so tired of how many times this movie could make a web out of some broken glass or some random shit in the background. I get it. All right, anyways, moving on. And then fucking Madam Web's character is just bafflingly dumb. I don't understand her. When she gets the fucking drawing from the kid, she's like, what do I do? I'm like, what do you mean? Act like a normal human. I'd be like, thank you.
Why was that so
awkward? What are you doing?
Why was that so
what
awkward?
Are you doing? This is your job. You're thinking this. So this is the first time you've ever had this encounter in your life?
Yes.
What are you doing?
That was why did she make that so weird?
Awful.
Wish Jessica Jones just has the power of autism is all it is. She's just... Because that's all that felt like to me. It was just every social norm.
They come up with a plan. Just wait till he leaves and then we can throw it away in a safe trash can. It's like, it's a dumbass kid.
I was like, so you're both psychopaths. Like, you're both just sociopaths. Because no one would think that way. Everyone would be like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, that's very sweet. No one would be like, just throw it in the trash. It's fucking weird. Who raised you people?
Wasn't she weird when he handed it to her too? She's like, oh no, thanks. Like, this isn't great art. I'm not going to hang this up.
So odd.
Yeah, that was
that.
weird.
And then when she's at the fucking baby shower party and she can't come up with a baby name. She's like, she asks her whatever, Cassandra, what do you think the baby's name is gonna be? And she's like, she blanks. I'm like, just say any fucking name, any name. Look around you and the people that you might know and just say a name. I'm like, what?
You could have said Pepsi because you had one in your hand. Like, who cares? I don't even care. It would have been a funny joke if they tried to make it really stupid, but they couldn't even come up with that. Right. They didn't have the wherewithal to even make a good joke in that situation.
I forgot about the Pepsi branding of this. This is the big L for Pepsi. I might never have another Pepsi again just because of this.
I'm buying Coke. I got stock in Coca-Cola over this.
I've been a Coke guy, but this is just hammering it.
Yeah. And then last thing is just poor Emma Roberts, randomly Spider-Man's mom in this movie. I was like, oh, you're in this movie? Okay. I guess so.
That was random.
Oh,
I was like, is that Emma Roberts? Why's she in here?
What a ride.
Yeah.
What a ride.
I want us
what a weird fucking movie.
Gaslight the studio again to putting this back in theaters like we did Morbius.
Please.
That's what I want to say.
All right, you know what? Let's tell them now. I will go see it again.
We can't call it Morbin time, but we got to call this something to get this trending.
Yeah, we need something.
Get people into it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's time to hit the bad guy with the car again.
They will fall for it again.
Oh, Madam Web, we're sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I watched this movie, and I'm sorry you were in this movie.
It was surreal. I don't think I've ever, I mean, this is the first time it's ever happened with a superhero movie where you barely see what she actually looks like in her costume. Barely, just barely. Like
this felt like a movie made in the 90s or pre-90s. I don't even know.
But I mean, it was like, it's just weird. It's just weird.
You made costumes. You made costumes to show it for literally yet less than a minute. There's maybe 1 minute of actual costume wearing in the goddamn movie.
Crazy.
And it's a dream sequence. I ready to end it all. This is my 13th reason.
Yeah. Disappointed, honestly.
Well, all right. Well, when Madam Web 2, Web of Shadows or some shit comes out, we'll see if they can redeem themselves.
That's going straight to fucking HBO Max.
Just put it on CW. CW, just put it on CW.
Chop this movie up into 4 parts, half hour each, and put it on CW. There you go.
If you put this movie on CW originally, I think that automatically gets it up to like a 3 out of 10. Just because it's what you expect.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair enough. All right, guys. That is Madam Web. Let's get the fuck out of here. Let's move on to our final segment of the week, which we like to call Free For All Title Pending. This is a segment of listeners. We can kind of do whatever we want. Talk about a day, life, fight, argue, rant. It is free for all. I can very quickly go first because I went to New York this past weekend for less than 24 hours.
Wild.
It was wild, but it's because I got to go see the Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, live with a live orchestra at Radio City in New York, and it was pretty fucking good.
So I saw your story about it, and I thought you just were watching Lord of the Rings. I was like, this motherfucker went all the way to New York just to watch Lord of the Rings. But now that I hear that, that's really cool. Yeah. That's super cool.
Yeah, so it was like a 238-piece orchestra, full choir, 238 with children and everything.
What the?
Yeah, it was.
How do you pay 238 people?
I don't know. I mean, it was sold out theater, and so they must be making money because the whole weekend was sold out. They were only there for that weekend in New York.
So cool.
But yeah, it was pretty sick. I will say though, not perfect in the sense that I kind of expected it to be louder, and I did wonder if where seats were closer, if we got that more fuller effect. It was still awesome, and it was really cool. And like, for me, the best parts were the choir. Hearing them live was really fucking dope, more than the actual instrument. Some of the instrument stuff I liked. That was cool seeing it live, but I do wish it was a little bit louder, a little more bombastic. But it was still very fucking cool to see that all live. And then second thing, I have a slight rant on just theater etiquette in general, because there was one guy in front of us, like slightly to the side, who just got drunker and drunker and louder and more obnoxious as the night went on. And it wasn't us. People in the theater were livid. And
I'm just like,
what do you, like, he was just like trying to be the funny guy in terms of like, it was one of those things like, yeah, people are there. So we all have seen the movie. And so we're cheering at a lot of moments. Like when Legolas says they're taking the hobbits to Isengard, people hoot and holler and laugh and stuff like that. Cause they know it's like shit like that. You know, it's coming. And he was just like trying to make jokes and be the funny one in the room. And it's like, it's not landing, man. You need to relax.
You're just kind of like saying it to the room.
Yeah, just saying it to the air, to the theater, not to himself or to the person he's with, just to the world. It's like, all right, chill out. To the point at the end, the only reason I think no one called security was he got so drunk that he started to get sleepy, it seemed, and then they left early. And literally, our whole section of people cheered.
Oh, he got eepy. Little eepy boy had too much beer. Oh,
we were like, thank God. But it was just like, what are you doing? What are you
We need
doing?
to normalize
Come on,
telling
man.
people like that to
Just shut the fuck up. And like, it just been...
Someone did. The
Oh,
person in front of him, literally, the person in front of him, this woman turned around and said, can you please stop talking? And honestly, like, he did, but I could tell, I was like, oh, you're the worst kind of person. Because he was the type of person that he didn't say anything back to her, but since I was behind him, I could see what he did. He spent the next literal 5 minutes flicking her off, like, right behind her head without saying a word, so she couldn't respond. I was like, that's so pathetic.
Imagine being a pussy.
That is some toddler ass shit. Toddler ass shit. I was like, okay, you're one of those people.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow.
But other than that, it was a great experience. Spent way too much money on merch.
Oh, yeah.
Got a cool hoodie. Got a CD signed by Howard Shore, the composer. So that was pretty fucking sick.
Awesome.
Got some drinks, which because I was happy they had like what's the word? They had like a themed drink, a specialty themed drink that turned out to be a type of mule with fig vodka. That was delicious. I was like, this is great. I've spent way too much money here, but this is great and worth it.
I was about to say that's a once in a lifetime experience, you know. So
that's on the list, man. That's cool.
And then hopefully I will see if we'll get tickets for Return of the King next year.
Dude, Return of the King would be. I feel like because when you said Two Towers, I was like, there's not as many like musical moments in that, but like that I remember. Return of the King, my God, that has some fucking
bangers only, baby.
I mean, just Helm's Deep was sick. Helm's Deep itself, I was like, oh hell yeah.
Helm's Deep definitely.
Two Towers, I mean, I was like,
it's Lord of the Rings, like it's for
it's
sure.
always something. But Return of the King, I'm like, we gotta go.
I would cry like seeing the Ride of the Rohirrim. I think with the orchestra, and a little tipsy.
And you got a little bit of that in Two Towers, the actual theme. So that was cool. The soloist did that beautifully, amazing.
That's cool.
So cool.
That's so cool.
So dope.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. Been busy, and then a shout out to God of War Ragnarok.
People even like that game anymore. Anyway,
I
can go next. I went roller skating on Valentine's Day. Something I haven't done in probably 20 something years, 20 years, 18
Wait,
years.
Roller skating
like at a skate
I haven't
rink.
done that in a minute.
So it was an idea that I had because I hadn't done it in a long time. So I was like, I'll go ahead and give it a try. So that's where me and my girlfriend went for Valentine's Day. And holy shit, it is not like riding a bike. I do not really remember how to roller skate. I was fortunate that I didn't really bust ass much like anything like that, but just like balancing yourself as an adult is really hard. It's really fucking tough. But it was a cute little experience. I went to this place close to me that's like it is perpetually stuck in the 80s. Like it looks exactly how it looked when I was a child. The same dirty ass colored floors, the same weird LED lights. Even has the same like stupid games that you could like play in the 90s and stuff like that. Looked like shit. Looked like absolute shit. I loved it. It's so nostalgic. But yeah, it was just kind of an interesting little thing. People just get drunk and just go to the fucking skating rink and just vibe. People are dancing and chilling, and you can tell that these people do it like every single weekend. And it was interesting. It was an interesting experience. I'll probably definitely go again at some point because now I want to get good at it. Because now I'm kind of pissed off that I suck at it.
It's fun, man.
Yeah, I haven't roller skated in a minute. Roller blading, I think I could pick up like a bike, but roller skating,
it's good exercise too. Like that was the thing. Like my back was hurting really bad. My lower back was killing me from it because I guess it's very core intensive and like legs and stuff. Like,
dude. And some people are so smooth with
there was definitely those kinds of people there that like
doing the dancing. And
you're just showing off
around.
Like fuck off. Like,
yeah.
And when I found out people were drunk there, I was like, that sounds so dangerous to get drunk and roller skate. Like what the fuck.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, that was cool. Something I hadn't done in a long time.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
Excellent.
Yeah. That's pretty fun.
Well, hey, you two have been doing some cool stuff. You've been going out into the world. I have been a gremlin.
He got that switch and he didn't know what to do.
I got a switch and I have turned into a fucking neckbeard, Axe body spray wearing. Just, I've been a recluse.
Devin, when did you last shower, my friend?
Yeah, I can't tell you that. It's bad, guys. I think, so I've always, I have, we ADHD, right? It's a dopamine thing. You love video games. Video games are just perfectly engineered for our stupid ass brains. Phone games, we're always like, they're just not quite, Like phone games are sometimes fun, but they're not quite. They're not the quality of like a made game, right? So you know, you see, you know, you got your phone, you're going around doing things, whatever. You know, you're not really going to sit on a phone game. I can play like Zelda, like Breath of the Wild, which is like maybe one of the best open world games ever. Anywhere in my house, like I can do it while I'm doing chores. I can do it when I'm like cooking. I can do it on the couch when like there's something else on the TV. And the fact that there's like no boot time at all. Like I can just pick it up and just unpause the game without any, not even 30 seconds. You know, the Xbox needs like 30 seconds to power on. You know, your PC needs like, you know, a minute or so. You just like turn it on and it's like exactly where you were like a day ago. I mean, it's insane. Like it's a problem, man. I'm hoping I need to beat these games quickly so I can like return to normal life because the Nintendo Switch is a problem. I realized that I'm 7 years late.
I was about to say, I was like, this just in. Devin finds out a piece of technology that came out in 2017. Like,
it
typical
is,
Devin.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild is pretty fun. And then I guess on that note, Breath of the Wild, very, very fun so far. Very cool game. I hate, but also understand why they did it. They made the weapons like really, really weak, and they break. And you can't repair them.
Right? Yeah.
And your bow's the same thing. Like, and you have to like health wise, you have to like go and like cook things and put things together. But it really does make you kind of check around every corner and like you try different stuff, you try different you try different weapons, try different swords and stuff. You don't get too attached to anything. And I actually like it because I wish they like had double the health span that they have, because really it's like 3 or 4 enemies and then that sword's done. But it makes you try new stuff. And then like the fact that you have to get healing stuff, like you have to get mushrooms and, you know, different ingredients. It really does make you look under like every rock and like you really do explore every area fully.
This era of Zelda is really interesting because it's more of a life sim than anything with a lot of the stuff that you can do.
Yeah.
I'll always find it really interesting. Zelda is an interesting thing because no games, like maybe 1 or 2 of the games, but outside of that, most games are so vastly different that it's like, it's hard to say what Zelda is because it's always so vastly different.
Yeah, they can always do whatever they want with it. Yes, I'm curious how Tears of the Kingdom is different because I played a little bit with Alex, Tears of the Kingdom. So it's like similar, you know, pretty similar, it's just maybe
literally the same mechanics. Map. So it's just, they just want to do more life sim stuff. It's really, really impressive.
But I'll tell you, and then so in this one they have like the powers that they have. One of them is a bomb. I'm telling you what, I have so much fun. Just like you can throw them, but you can also just set them down. So every time I engage enemies, I just put it down and then I start running backwards and they just run straight at you and you just blow them into the sky. And it is so much fun to do that. Like, or like roll it down a hill at people. Like that's fun too. So
yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're enjoying that, man. Welcome to the future.
The future is now,
the future
Grandpa.
is now, guys. You can have you can play games in your hand now. It's crazy. And yeah, I never had a DS or anything growing up, so you know that's you know, this is my first
that's awesome, man.
Gaming system.
Hell yeah, that's sick as shit.
Yeah.
All right, well, Brian, we're never gonna see Devin ever again.
I was about to say that's the end of Devin.
It's the end of Devin for at least a good 6 months.
Yeah.
All right, friends. I love it. That means that is the end of the show. Listeners, you can email us at thefortress@gmail.com, fortress.four. Feel free to email us any questions, feedback, recommendations, or anything like that. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and the YouTube channel at The Fortress of. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your grandma, tell your cat. Follow the 3 Bollywood R's, rate, review, recommend us to anyone and everyone you know. Thank you, Jackie, for helping out at the podcast every week. Thank you, Brian, for the art, Alex for the music, and Devin, thank you for being here, even when you're not here. You can find Brian on Instagram at ITZ_, by the way. Alex at Peters Films, and Devin, find him hopefully showered in the world somewhere, but probably not. On a couch.
Exploring them Hyrule fields, man.
Yeah, that's his new outside. It's out there.
Do you need me to touch grass? Because I can in the game. Okay. I'll go touch some grass there.
Next week, listeners, I don't know, but we got a lot of stuff coming up. Dune's fucking coming out soon. Avatar: The Last Airbender is about to hit Netflix soon. I think this week, actually. A couple days. We got a lot of stuff coming up.
Hey,
exciting stuff.
Shogun comes out this week.
Shogun
or next week
comes out. I think it's next week. Yeah. Exciting stuff. So look forward to all of that stuff. In the meantime, as usual, happy holidays and put a code on its code out there.
Yeah, that motherfucker Phil lied to us from Groundhog's Day.
Yeah, bro. Where's the spring?
Where's that
at,
early
man?
spring?
This spring. What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
I found this out recently that there's like 1 million of those rodents that tell the weather across the U.S. and they
Just
are
the
all
U.S.
wrong. Probably, I don't really know. Doesn't matter. Anyways, listeners, we'll see you here next week on another episode in the Fourtress of.
When I get you, Paul, I swear to God, Paul Phil. What the fuck's his name?